Katie, welcome back to my channel. The plan today was to film the first of my spring makeup looks, but then my last package from MUA arrived today, so I had all my makeup ready for my first impressions, so that is what we're doing instead. This month I'm going to be doing 2 full faces of first impressions for April because I just brought a hell of a lot of makeup. There was just a lot of products I was curious to try this month, so we will be doing 2 separate videos with a complete full face of new makeup. The first one we will be doing today and I will film the next one next week. So I got some things from Boots, some things from Tam Beauty and some things from MUA Cosmetics. In this video I'm not using any of the Tam Beauty stuff, that will be in the next first impressions, but I've got some MUA stuff and then some just random brands from Boots. I've got some L'Oreal, some Bourjois, that kind of thing. It's quite a lot of L'Oreal actually. Also got a few brushes from MUA to try out too, but that is what we're going to do today, so let's just get into the video, shall we? So I have done a concealer and a powder base on my eyes, which means we will be starting with eyeshadow, and I decided to get one of MUA's eyeshadow palette. This one is the 15 shade palette in Green Goddess, and this is what it looks like. I will take the lid off because you don't want my lights shining on that, blocking your view. These are the colours. I thought I would go for some colours that I don't normally go for. I just wanted something that's not really in my collection. Obviously this is just kind of lots of kind of glimmery emerald greeny colours, as well as some kind of basic shades as well, and there's some quite bronzy metallic colours and a lot of mattes too. I don't know, I just thought this wasn't something that I had in my collection, so I thought I'd go for it. And I believe it was £4, so if this is pigmented, we got a good bargain there. I did get 3 MUA brushes. I don't have any eye brushes, so I won't be using these yet. But I got a highlighting brush, which looks absolutely amazing, so we'll be using that. Got a tapered powder brush, which also looks pretty cool, and then a regular powder brush. And I have to say that these brushes are super cheap, but the quality of them seems really good just from feeling them. They're so soft. They're synthetic, but they just feel pretty good quality considering how cheap they are. Yeah, I'm really excited to try these out because they just seem really good. This is where I have to decide what kind of makeup look I want to do. I mean, something green probably would be appropriate. Let's start with this kind of matte greeny colour. I'm just going to do a little swatch to see what the pigment's like. Good pigment. I'm going to start with this colour here. It is a matte green, quite dark green colour. And I think I'm going to start by bringing that one through my crease. Green is my favourite colour. BT dubs. I think I'm gonna get this kind of sort of turquoisey bluey kind of glimmery colour here and pop that kind of through my crease as well, kind of a bit underneath what I've done. I think I'm gonna get this gold shade, this one right here. I'm gonna use my finger and place this one kind of in this kind of outer kind of thirds. I'm going to kind of leave the inner corner a little bit because I'm going to try a different shade there. And again, I am just going to use my fingers because I just find that this gives the most pigmentation, and oh yes, that's good. Loving that. Okay, that colour is absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm going to get this kind of emerald light green glimmery colour, and again use my finger and place this one in the kind of inner corner bit of my eye. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm going to get the matte kind of creamy white shade up here, and I'm just going to run some of this under my brow bone. I'm going to take the kind of jet matte black in the corner here and just dab a really small amount of this onto the outer third just to give it a little bit of smokiness. Don't want too much here. I wasn't expecting this palette to be amazing, but actually I think it actually is. It's really good. Some of these shades are absolutely gorgeous, and obviously I've only used a few. And there are so many more that catch my eye, but this is really good, especially for £4. I'm really impressed with this. Okay, so to do my waterlines, I got the L'Oreal Infallible Gel Crown Waterproof, and it's the black one. The shade is 001 Black to Black, and it is literally just your standard kind of creamy black pencil. I always use these in my waterlines. I just really like the effect of a black liner in my waterline, so I'm just going to go ahead right now and do that in my top and bottom waterlines. That's amazing. It's just super creamy, glides on like a dream, very pigmented, just everything that I need in a nice pencil liner. So very impressed with this L'Oreal one. So the mascara that I've got to try out is also from L'Oreal. This is the Volume Million Lashes, and it's the Feline one. It comes in this nice green and gold packaging, and L'Oreal generally does really good with mascaras. I don't think I've tried a bad mascara from L'Oreal, and I thought I'd give another one a go. This obviously is one I've not used before. That's what the wand looks like. It's a little bit curved. I'm just going to go ahead and coat my lashes. Obviously I went for a mascara with good reviews, and this one did have really good reviews, so wow, just from that tiny bit I can see this is going to be a good one. I think this is a pretty good mascara. Like, I'm not knocked off my feet by it, but the thing is, with mascaras like this, I find that they grow on me the more I use them, so I may not be wowed by it at first, but the more I use it, I think I'll start to like it more. It has given me some decent length and volume, but it's just not the most length and volume I've seen ever. But let's do the other eye. I mean, yeah, actually I do quite like this mascara now that I've built it up a little bit more. It always comes out better in one eye than the other. I always find that, like, this eye is a bit more volumized. But overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with that mascara, and actually the whole eyes I think's turned out pretty good. So far, so good. I did get a primer. I got the L'Oreal Infallible Anti-Redness Primer. This is one of the kind of new ones they brought out. They had loads of different ones. There's like pore ones, luminizing ones, but I don't know, I thought I'd go for the redness one just because I do have quite blotchy skin. I don't know how well on camera it shows up, but I do have quite blotchy skin, so I thought an anti-redness one would work for me. I'm just gonna, I guess, oh my god, that is so green. It's like limey green. Wow. Yeah, I'm just gonna rub a load of this into my skin before foundation. So I've smothered a load of that on my face. Does my redness look reduced? I honestly don't know. I guess like a little bit, but not like loads. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to leave that just a short period of time just to kind of absorb into my skin before I go on the top with foundation. So I can't be bothered to wait any longer, so I'm going to move on to foundation now. And I got one of the new L'Oreal Infallible foundation sticks. I got mine in the shade 100 Ivory, which is the light shade. That is what the colour looks like. It's not 100% perfect match for me, but I feel like I could make this work. That's what the colour looks like. I would say it does have more of a warm undertone, so that's good because I do have more warm undertones, despite what my blotchy skin it might seem like. The only other stick foundation I've ever tried is the new Makeup Revolution one, so that's the only point of comparison I have when it comes to stick foundations. So I don't feel like I've seen any reviews of this. Like, I've seen some like in my suggestions, but for some reason I've just never clicked on the reviews. That probably would have been a good idea before buying it, but whatever. I'm just so curious about like makeup, and when new things come out I just feel like I have to buy them. So obviously this colour match ain't gonna be perfect, but I guess I'm just gonna kind of do the smother all over my face technique, blend in with my dirty beauty sponge. Yeah, the colour of this just isn't like a perfect match for me, but obviously this is the light shade. Correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't think there's a shade lighter than 100 Ivory. I feel like L'Oreal is a decent brand when it comes to shade range. It's just some of their like ultra fair stuff isn't the most ultra fair. So I've just smothered a load of that on my face, and now we're just going to blend it in with a sponge. The sponge is mostly dry, maybe a tiny bit of moisture in it, but it's mostly a dry sponge. Okay, so this is kind of one layer of it on. Obviously this colour isn't 100% perfect for me. It's not terrible, but I could just tell the colour difference. My face always does look lighter on camera because of these lights and stuff, but just trust me when I tell you that it is a tiny bit dark for me. I would say it's quite like, it's kind of like a medium coverage, like it's not like super covering, I would say. I can still see a lot of kind of imperfections on my face coming through. But I think it does look pretty nice. It's got a decent finish and it has obviously given some coverage, so I don't hate it. I'm not loving it though. It's alright. I might try and build it up a little bit just around any areas where I've got excess redness and blemishes. Just try that. Okay, so that has built up a bit, but I still would just like a little bit more coverage. So the concealer that I got to try is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and this is one of their new shades. This is 05, so this was the kind of new paler shade that they brought out. I have tried this concealer once, but it was like 2 years ago, and it was the lightest shade before this one came out, and it was kind of orangey. I wasn't mad about the colour, and I don't really remember like what the formula was like. I feel like I liked it, but the orangeness just put me off. So I'm hoping that I'll really like this because it is a lighter colour now. So I'm just going to give it a hit and put a load of this on my face. So I'm just going to put this in the usual areas I conceal, under my eyes, on my nose, and on any kind of redness and blemishes on my face, which is quite a lot of it. It's more so scarring than it is like active spots. I just have a lot of kind of scarring from the past. I do quite like the shade of this. It's definitely an improvement of what it was before. Okay, so I quite like this concealer. I wouldn't say it's like a super duper full coverage concealer. Like again, I can still see things, but obviously I'll have to try it out with different products underneath. But I do quite like the concealer. I don't know, overall this base is alright, but I'm just not like mad about it. Like it's alright, but something just seems a bit missing and I don't know what it is. To set my face, I got the L'Oreal Paris True Match Minerals Mattifying Powder. This is the translucent one. Packaging of this is weird because the lid is so big, but like the actual like amount of product you get seems quite small, especially considering that this is like $12.99. So I don't know, I feel like they should have more product in this considering. Now I could try out one of my new MUA brushes, but I'm not sure which one. I think I'll try out this one, which I think is the tapered powder brush. It's F12, and I don't know if this would work under my eyes. Possibly. I'm not really even sure how you're supposed to like get product out of this. Do you need to tip it a bit or what? So I've gotten a little bit of this on my brush. I'm not going to bake because I just can't be asked. Alright, I'm going to try my best here to set. Don't know if this is the best brush to use under the eyes because it is quite large. In fact, I will go in with a smaller brush just to really get under there. Okay, something about this base is just not looking right. Like, I'm just looking kind of patchy, and I don't know if it's the powder, the brush, or what. It's just not looking great, my base right now. Like, things just look really weird. This powder is just hard to use. Like, it's just so hard to get product out of it. I feel like nothing's coming out. I don't know. I'm not so sure about this. I don't even know. Finish looks weird. I guess I feel sort of matte now, but I don't know. For bronzer, I got the Bourjois Paris Air Matte Anti-Brilliance Shine Control, Air Matte Powder. This is actually like a face setting powder, but I thought I'd get it in kind of like a darker shade and use it as a bronzer. This one's in the shade 04 Light Bronze. And obviously this is like a meant to be like a mattifying powder for people with this skin tone, but I thought on me that this would work quite nicely as a bronzer, so I thought I'd give that a go. I'm going to try out the F4 MUA. This is the powder brush. I might as well just use this to bronze. Why not? We'll see what it's like. I'm just going to smother a bit of this in my cheekbone area. It smells really fruity and nice. I actually think that works pretty well as a bronzer. Just blend it a little bit. I feel like this horrible base is just distracting me. But I do really like this bronzer actually. Well, it's not technically a bronzer, it's some powder, but I think that works pretty well on me actually. This is the part where I have like far too many highlighters to try out and only one face. You also have the highlighting brush from MUA, which looks like the perfect shape, and I do want to try this out. So I got 8 highlighters altogether from MUA, but obviously I've got 4 for this video. The first one I've got is the MUA Luxe Light Luster Highlight Duo, and this one's in the shade Splendor. And this one has like an icy white and a kind of bluey pastel-y toned colour, and it looks absolutely stunning. I also got one of the MUA Prism highlighters. This one's in the shade Polarized Green, and that's what that one looks like. And then I got 2 of the MUA Shimmer Highlight Powders. The first one is in the shade Silver Wonder. See, this is like an icy, whitey, silvery colour. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And then I also got the one in the shade Glistening Amethyst, which is kind of like a pinky toned colour. This one might actually be a little bit dark on me. I'm not 100% sure how this one's going to work. Okay, so the Silver Wonder one is kind of standing out to me, so I think I'm going to start and use this one on this side of my face. I'm going to go in with the highlighter brush. Right, I'm just going to have to ignore the terrible base I've got underneath and ooh, try out these highlighters. Oh my god. That's looking gorgeous. This highlighter, that's really pretty. Super pigmented, really like the colour of that. I think this highlighter brush is doing a pretty good job too. It doesn't look perfect just because I feel like when you've got like a bad base underneath highlighter, it kind of just doesn't work as nicely, but the actual quality of this highlighter is looking pretty good. I'm just going to swirl off the excess from that brush before I put the other ones on my face. So I know I said I'm not 100% sure this colour is going to work, the Glistening Amethyst one, because it does look a little bit dark, but I feel like I just want to kind of try it anyway. So I'm going to use the Glistening Amethyst colour on the other side of my cheek with the same highlighter brush, and we'll give this a go. If it's too dark, it's too dark. Ooh. Okay, that's pigmented. Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily the best for my skin because it is a bit of a dark colour. Yeah, this doesn't look like a good highlight. I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's just like a patch of pink. I feel like this would probably work as like a kind of highlighty blush pretty nicely though, but that just looks like a streak of pink on my face. But the pigment is absolutely amazing, and if you've got a kind of deeper skin tone than me, this might work amazingly as a highlight. I'm just gonna kind of get a brush and kind of blend that a bit because it's looking a bit weird. Well, let's just ignore that part of my face. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Luster one. Right, I'm going to go in with the blue shade in this, and I think I'm just going to pop it on my nose, cupid's bow and chin. Okay, well, that is super pigmented. Absolutely gorgeous. Finally, I'm going to go in with Polarized Green and just put a little bit of this on like my forehead and my temple area. So with this, I do find that like it kind of has like a layer on top, and then once you put your brush in, the kind of like initial shininess. I don't know, it's weird because I don't know if that would work as well, that bit underneath, but ooh, that is super pretty though. So that is gorgeous, but like I don't know if you'll be able to see in the camera, but it's kind of like it's like a layer and then it kind of disappears. But the layer underneath does seem to still be pigmented and glimmery. It's just not quite as nice as the top part, which is weird. But like that first bit, it's come out well. Nice. Okay, so I look ridiculous with all these different highlighter colours on my face, so let's just try and blend a little bit. I will say though that these highlighters are pretty good, it's just I wish I had a better base to use them on. I'm not really sure how I feel about these powder brushes. Like again, I'll have to try them with like different things, but I don't know. Probably would work better as like blush and bronzer brushes, more so than applying like setting powder and stuff. I almost completely forgot about eyebrows. Gonna move on to finish off my eyes, and I forgot that I own eyebrows. But I didn't get any gels or anything, but I did get a pencil to try out. I've got the number 7 Beautiful Eyebrow Sculpting Pencil, and mine is in the shade brown. It's just kind of your standard brow pencil. You've got your spoolie on one end, and you've got a kind of like angled one, and it is quite a like cool brown colour. I think the colour looks pretty good. Just gonna quickly brush through my brows with a clear gel. I've just combed through my brows, the clear gel, so I'm now going to go in with the pencil and hope that I can get a decent brow. Okay, so I quite like this brow pencil. I feel like the colour's a little bit light for me just because my eyebrows are naturally quite dark. Like I feel like my natural eyebrow hair is darker than my actual hair colour, which is weird. I don't know, I find that when using this, like it's kind of taking away some of the foundation, like here. That could just be me applying it really clumsily, but also the foundation, which I'm not mad about, and the powder. But I feel like that's done a decent job at filling in the brows. My favourite brow pencil ever though. I'm just going to go back in with the clear gel just to set them in place and brush through the product a little bit more. Yeah, like I don't even see, but just like all of this bit here, like my foundation's just coming off. It's an alright brow pencil, not my favourite. I've tried better ones I think, but it's not bad. I'll try it out a few more times, get the hang of using it, and maybe I'll start to like it a bit more. So I'm going to go back in with the eyeshadow palette now and try some stuff under my lash line. I'll get this kind of bluey kind of colour here, it's a glimmery one, and just put a bit of this under my eyes. I actually think I'm going to go back to this highlighter duo Splendor one, and because I didn't use the white one on my face, I'm going to pop a bit of that into the inner corners of my eye. Okay, that's a gorgeous, gorgeous inner corner highlight. I'm loving it. I'm going to go back in with the Volume Million Feline Lashes Mascara by L'Oreal and just do me bottom lashes. The eyes look pretty good. I mean, compared to the base, they're definitely much better. Okay, so the last thing I've got to try out is a lip product. This is the MUA Luxe Velvet Matte Metallic Lip Liqueur, and I have tried one of these before. I can't see it in my lip collection at the moment, but I tried like a dark pink kind of coloured one, and I honestly thought it was a very beautiful colour, and I did quite like the formula of them. Not sure the shade name of this because once you take the initial packaging off, it's like not written on there anywhere, but I will just leave a little note here of what the shade name is. It is like a bronzy coppery colour, and I thought it looked stunning. I am just going to wipe off my foundation lips before I put it on though. Right, so I'm going to go in with this lipstick now. Ah, it looks stunning. It also smells amazing, like kind of white chocolate, vanilla-y. Ignoring my dodgy application, this was absolutely stunning. I love this. From what I remember, these do dry down matte as well. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this colour. It's so unique. It's not like your casual nude lip. It's like an actual glimmery copper colour. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I might use this in one of my spring makeup looks, I'm not sure. This first impressions actually went a little bit faster than I thought it would. Normally I'm here for like 2 hours. This was probably like 1 hour, an hour and a half, hour 15 minutes, I don't know. Normally I could be up here for like 3 hours filming these, but so this is our finished look. So first I'm going to talk about the products that I love from this first impressions. I say generally the eye products are the best part of this. MUA 15 Shade Green Goddess. Gorgeous. Considering it's £4, amazing. I love the colours here. They're just so iridescent. It's not like a palette I've had before, which I'll stop saying now, it's probably getting really annoying. It's just gorgeous. The shades are really pigmented. They seem to blend pretty well. I just think this is a really good palette for the price. I think I will do a one palette free looks video on this one at some point because I think it's pretty top notch. I'm gonna say that I love the mascara. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure about it at first, but once I kind of built it up a bit, I did my bottom lashes, I am actually loving this mascara. I think it's given me some good volume and length, but it doesn't look too like clumpy, like it's still kind of separated my lashes. Yeah, I really like this mascara. I think it's really good. The L'Oreal Infallible Gel Crown, the waterproof one in Black to Black, was that what it was called? This is an amazing little liner, just as what I need it to do for my waterline. Dramatic black, creamy, glides on nicely, absolutely perfect. The only issue I could possibly have with this is that it sharpens a bit dodgy. Sometimes I do find that with pencil liners, but if that's not an issue, then we're on to a winner here. Really like it. I would say that these three highlighters, the only highlighter that I'm not super mad about is the polarized green one, just because I don't like the way after that first layer comes off, it's like not as intense. But I have to say that the glistening amethyst one isn't really the best shade for me, but I feel like this would work really well as a blush on me because I do quite like shimmery blushes, so that is what I'm going to do with this next time, and I think that will work perfectly for that. But if you've got slightly deeper skin to me, this probably would work as a highlight really nicely. It is super pigmented. The Splendor Highlight Duo I think is amazing. That white shade worked really well in my inner corners. I used a blue on my nose, cubes, bone, chin. Obviously I've got to try it like as a proper highlighter everywhere, but I think this one's pretty good. Awesome, super cheap, super pigmented, and I love these colours. And the silver one which I used on this side is absolutely beautiful. I love it. And the last thing that I love is definitely the MUA Luxe Velvet Matte Metallic Lip Lacquer. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, it does dry down matte, but it still looks really metallic, which is awesome. Love this. So for products that I'm kind of in the middle about, again, I would say with this polarized green highlighter, I just don't like the way that there just seems to be like a different texture to it, like once you have that first layer off. But like when you swatch that layer underneath, it does still have some pigment, it's just not as intense as the first layer, which I just find odd. But the initial application of it is pretty pigmented, and I do like the green colour. The brow pencil is okay, like I'll just have to use this a bit more and get used to using it, but I mean, it fills in your brows. The colour's a little light. I'd like it a little bit darker just because my natural brow colour is quite dark, but I mean, it's alright. I feel the same way about this Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Like, I just need to use this on some different bases before I can 100% say whether I love it or hate it. I don't think I would hate this. I feel like it went on my skin nicely. I love the new shade. I think it's definitely an improvement. I just need to use this more before I can say whether I love it or not. The primer seemed to be okay. Did it eliminate my redness? I'm not so sure about that, but it felt nice, smells nice. Am I going to reach for this all the time? Don't know. I think the bronzer worked pretty well. Again, just need to try this more. I feel like normally I reach for like glimmery bronzers, so on days when I do want a kind of matte look, this is something that I'd go for. Okay, so there are two products here that I'm not mad about. I feel like I need to use them more before I can 100% decide my final thoughts on them. But I'm not super mad about the L'Oreal foundation and the powder. And I say especially the powder, it gave me a really weird finish. Like, it just looked textured and weird and patchy once I put it on. Again, that could be the brushes as well. I don't really know. This is why I need to kind of use them more. Because you can't get your 100% like final opinion on something from a first impression, because it is literally a first impression. Foundation is like, it had like a decent coverage, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I was just expecting a little bit more coverage. I don't know if the finish was my favourite. Like, it was an okay finish. But then, like, just when I set it with this powder, it just, I don't know if you'll be able to see in camera, it just looks kind of weird and patchy and odd. And, like, the coverage isn't really there. Like, there's still so much coming through on my face, which I don't know if you'll be able to see in camera, but I could definitely see it in person, so not 100% sure about these, but I will give them another go. Overall, though, there has been some pretty good products here, and as I said, I have got another first impressions to come, so we will see how that one goes. But I have found some pretty good products here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in my next one.